So, a lot has happened since we last talked. I've been all the way up to Lazaroti. I became the patron saint of cats. And now, it's the last day I have off. And I have to head back to work. In those last few days before Lazaroti, I think I was just like, oh my god, I just got to get away. Because it was just work all the time, and it was just like, this is all I do. And I don't think I've had a break all year, you know, and this was the first time I'd get a big, long amount of time off. So, you know, I just couldn't wait to get away. Lanzarote was lovely because I think most people thought, oh, it would be really cold and everything, but it was actually pretty warm. I mean, it kind of, I felt like it was like the sun had to sort of charge up, you know. So you'd get out on the sunbeds and it'd be a bit cold, but it'd charge up, and then you get to about 11 and it gets quite warm, and then you get to 12 and it's really, really, really warm. So, you know, the weather was excellent. And one of the other things I was really looking forward to was the cocktails. We had many a pina colada and mojito, but one of the mojitos was really bad because they ran out of mint and they literally crammed it full of limes, and it was like sickly. So that was horrible. But yeah, the other cocktails were cool. And then towards the end, we had lots of vodkas and cokes and things and that sort of stuff. So that was all cool. And probably the best part of the holiday was going to see the volcanic parts of the island. It's amazing that literally half the island is covered in magma. It's just these big sort of misshapen blobs of blackness which are magma. It's truly fascinating that there's so much of it is just magma, and that was really interesting. So that was probably the best part for me. And of course I discovered there are about 12 or 13 cats that accumulate around the hotel, and so I got some food and started feeding them every night at about 7 o'clock, and they would gather round, and it was really fascinating that I just get a whole army of cats just coming towards me and wanting food. Unfortunately, quite a lot of them didn't want to be petted, so that was kind of disappointing. But we found out at the end of the holiday, in fact on the last day, that the hotel is under obligation from a cat protection society, which states that they have to look after these cats and feed them and make sure that they're healthy. So that was really good to hear. But then tragically the 10 days was up and we had to come back to Brighton to its glorious weather. And my plan, once getting back, was to drop this weight because I gained so much weight in Lanzarote. But unfortunately, I had all these migraines, and that was the first sort of obstacle. I had these migraines as soon as I came back, and they were really intense migraines. And so for the first few days after coming back, I was just paralysed and just couldn't do anything, which is really annoying because I really wanted to work and get on with these new drawings that I was going to do. So yeah, and then for about 4 days, it was like every morning migraine. And so half the day would go just with migraines and trying to get rid of them. And then it got better, and then but I haven't actually tried any sort of intense walking or anything like that. I've just not really tried at all, so I'm still a bit overweight. But hopefully next week when I get back into routine, I'll start doing walking and dropping the weight off. So as most of you know, I do my drawings, which I sell on eBay. And at the moment, while doing the sort of colouring in, I'm in the background, I'm watching Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, which was a programme which I used to watch every Saturday. It's like we had a hard day at school, and you get to Saturday and you watch Dick and Dom in the Bungalow with the covers up, and you know, you're just sitting in bed watching Dick and Dom in the Bungalow and you're just chilling. And I'm watching all these old episodes, but I'm only like watching the best bits. And I've just watched the comic relief one with Christopher Parker looking extremely sexy there. You know, you don't really hear much of him now, Christopher Parker, who played Spencer in EastEnders, or you don't really hear much of Dick and Dom. But I remember Dick and Dom in the Bungalow because, you know, it was this Saturdays, and while the cartoons were on, we'd go down to the kitchen and make some toast, and we'd have peanut butter on toast. Well, I did anyway. And we just watched this Saturday morning fun show, which is a bit like Tiswas, but in modern Tiswas. And it was really good. And my favourite parts of Dick and Dom in the Bungalow are the game at the beginning where they make a new word and they put it in the Dick and Dom dictionary. And then I also like the interrogation game. That's another good one. And I also like the "There's a head in my bucket."
They're all well-known faces, some fat and some thin, so try to remember which bucket they're in.
The thing about Dick and Dom and the Bungalow is they've got excellent tunes, you know, for like the sort of intro to all the games. They're so good. But unfortunately, only series 4 and 5 seem to be on YouTube because that noise in the background is Annabelle scratching around in her tunnel. So unfortunately a lot of the episodes are not there, so that's kind of sad. But hopefully in time they will come. I am nervous about tomorrow because I haven't been to work for 3 weeks, so you know anything could have changed. Some of the rules could have changed and other things could have changed. It's quite possible. So I am nervous. And then of course there'll be, for me personally, it'll be a bit difficult because people will probably come up to me and say, "Oh, how was your holiday?" And then that might be a bit anxious for me, and having to talk a lot, so that'll be anxious. A bit like Christmas as well. When you come back at Christmas, people ask you lots of questions, and it makes me a bit nervous and anxious. But we'll see. One of the things I did say that I was going to do in this time off was finish editing that Doctor Who figure adventure, which I made some months ago with the Cybermen. But I haven't managed to do it yet. Goodbye.